that's right. But I've just got the thumbs up for Red 10. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys, girls, please give a massive Bournemouth welcome to Squadron Leader Graham Muscat.
Good afternoon, Bournemouth. I am Squadron Leader Graham Muscat and I am Red 10. I'm the team supervisor with the Royal Air Force Aerobatic team, the Red Arrows. It's absolutely fantastic to be here once again back at Bournemouth. We are on our day 3 of the Bournemouth Air Fest. And from my position at the commentary position on the top of the cliffs, looking all the way to the left and right of me and all on the beach, it's absolutely fantastic to see so many people out to watch our display today. As a team supervisor, my role is to ensure that the team are behaving themselves and they are adhering to all the rules and regulations that we must do. But in addition to that, I'll also give you some wider information about the Royal Air Force, about the Red Arrows themselves, and again, I will let you hear some commentary from Red 1 during the display. I have been in contact with Red 1 and all 7 aircraft are airborne out of Bournemouth. There are 3 shows that we can do. We can either do a full show, a rolling show, or a flat show. And that really depends on cloud base and visibility. Sometimes it also is restricted by airspace, but we don't have that issue today. So today it will be on cloud and viz. We need 5,500 feet minimum cloud for a full show, 2,500 feet for a rolling show, and 1,000 feet for a flat show. That call is made by Red 1 as he rolls into the show. Today it could be either a rolling or a flat, depending on what Red 1 decides as he rolls in. But hopefully, I'm hoping for a full show. The team are at our crowd rear now. They are doing all their final preps for the show, making sure they are all ready to go. They will do their final smoke prep. They will prime the smoke to ensure that is at their brightest for their entrance into the show. They will also put themselves into wall formation, which is the largest formation that we fly on our entry, which is approximately 300 feet from wingtip to wingtip. I can hear them coming close, and here they are, the 2022 Royal Air Force Aerobatic Team, the Red Arrows! Red 1 pulling the formation up at over 400 miles per hour and 4G. As he pulls up, that indicates to me that Red 1 has elected to take the show full as they close into 7 arrow shape over the top, reaching a height of approximately 5,500 feet. As the aircraft accelerate back down towards their minimum safe height, Red 1 brings the formation around to the right. Red 1 is Squadron Leader Tom Bold. He is in his 2nd year as the team leader, a previous synchro leader from 2017. He is also a former Typhoon pilot and qualified flying instructor on the Hawk T-Mark II and Tucano, where he was the Tucano display pilot in 2010. The smoke goes on once again as Reds 2, 3, 4 and 5 make their way back to the rear of the formation, forming our first big wing shape and our first space-themed shape. As Red 1 brings the formation around to the right, get your cameras ready for the Shuttle Roll. As the team roll to the left, on the right-hand side, closest in, is Red 2, Flight Lieutenant Stu Roberts. He's in his 1st year on the team, as a previous Typhoon pilot with 11 and 12 squadrons at Royal Air Force Coningsby in Lincolnshire. His opposite number on the left-hand side is Red 3, Flight Lieutenant Patrick Kershaw, known as Paddy. Again, in his 1st year on the team, a former Tornado GR4 pilot and also Typhoon pilot once again with 11 and 12 squadrons at RAF Coningsby. The smoke comes on from Reds 4 and 5 as Reds 2, 3, 4 and 5 move up in line abreast to sit behind Red 6. The Red Arrows are based at Royal Air Force Scampton, just to the north of Lincoln, which of course was the famous base for the famous 617, the Dam Busters Squadron. RAF Scampton will close at the end of this year and the team will move to RAF Waddington, just to the south of Lincoln. In tribute to Scampton, its history, its squadron and its personnel, and now that the F-35 Lightning is flown by 617. This is the Lightning Loop. Once again, the team will reach over 5,500 feet at the top of that loop, and they will slow down to approximately 150 miles per hour. This makes the Hawk aircraft a little bit less responsive in the terms of its controls, and therefore the formation and station keeping by the pilots is even more difficult. As the aircraft come back down through the loop, it will be accelerating through 200, 300 and up to 400 miles per hour once again, as Red 1 bends the formation around to the left. As they do the Lightning present, you can see on the far right hand side uppermost as we look at it is Red 4 Squadron Leader John Bond, known as Bondy. He is in the 5th year on the team, a former Typhoon pilot, a former Synchro leader from 2021, and also a former qualified flying instructor on the Tucano, where he was the Tucano display pilot in 2012. Of course, the Red Arrows are a military unit, and as such we are commanded by Wing Commander David Montenegro, a former Synchro and team leader, and a former Tornado F3 pilot and qualified flying instructor on the Tucano. Reds 2, 3, 4 and 5 move up. The go was made by Red 7 as Red 7 moves to the left and Red 6 moves to the right. This puts all the even numbers on the right hand side and all the odd numbers on the left hand side, as Red 1 bends the formation around to the right, under 3G, making the move even more difficult. But Bournemouth, once again, get your cameras ready for the Phoenix Roll. As those aircraft roll to the left, the pilots will be looking down on the beach and on the shoreline, so make sure you give them a huge wave and you can see the iconic shape of the Hawk aircraft. The Hawk has been in service with the Royal Air Force since 1976 and has been the aircraft of the Red Arrows since 1979, where it replaced the fallen Gnat. And in March this year, with the closure of 100 Squadron and 736 Royal Naval Air Squadron, that makes the Red Arrows the sole operator of the Hawk T-Mark 1 in the United Kingdom. There are 9 pilots on the team this year, and all pilots must have 1,500 minimum fast jet hours before they can join the team and be assessed as above average. They go through a small selection process consisting of a flying test, media interviews before that goes down to the final 3. And those 3 are then selected for the new pilots each year. The aircraft have now formed a shape which represents the space theme of the Royal Air Force and how the Royal Air Force is constantly trying to develop and adapt its capabilities. And on the 1st of April 2021, UK Space Command was formed. And therefore this represents the Apollo lunar landing craft, as the aircraft come round to the left for the Apollo present. Of course, Red Arrows is not just about the pilots. There are over 120 personnel on the squadron, and over 100 of them are the Blues, so called due to the colour of their coveralls. And they are the engineers, the operations, the administrators and the public relations staff that keep the RAF, the Red Arrows machine, turning. Inside those Blues are 10 specially selected individuals who fly in the back of our aircraft in between shows when we cannot take a full engineering complement. And they are known as the Circus. One individual who flies in the back of my aircraft and is also here at every display filming the show for debrief and safety purpose is Circus 10, Air Specialist 1 Abigail Druitt. And she is responsible for all but the airborne images of the show that you see across social media taken from my aircraft. The team have now split into 2 with Reds 4 and 5 in trail as they bend around to the right for the crowd favourite, the colourful, smoky and dynamic, representing the Tornado GR4 on combat operations for nearly 40 years. This is Tornado. Your board call is made as Reds 4 and 5 roll around the rest of the formation. Watch for the colour change as Red 1 brings the formation around to the right.
A little bit right now.
As Reds 4 and 5 smoke red and blue. Smoking red is Red 5, Flight Lieutenant David Simmons, known as Simo. He's in his 4th year on the team, a previous Tornado GR4 pilot, and he also flew the Harrier and the F5 while on exchange with the United States Marine Corps. 2022 is an important year for the United Kingdom and the Commonwealth, as Her Majesty the Queen, Queen Elizabeth II, celebrates 70 years on the throne, thereby making her the longest serving Queen in history. You'll have seen us over London on the Platinum Jubilee weekend, and in celebration of her prestigious Platinum Jubilee, this is the colourful Jubilee present. See that the aircraft are flying with their air brakes out. This allows that the pilots set a higher throttle setting. This thereby makes a hotter engine gas temperature, and it makes the colour in the smoke burn a lot more brightly. As we come to the end of the first half, you will have seen so far formation flying involving 7 aircraft. Of course, formation flying is a core skill of all military pilots, but I think you'll agree that Red Arrows take it to the next level with those formation shapes and aerobatics. In the second half, you will now see that the team have split down into 2 sections. Reds 1 through 5, they are now known as Enid, named after Enid Blyton's famous 5 from the children's series books. And on trail is Red 6 and 7, the synchro pair, led by Red 6, the synchro leader. And it is their responsibility for the high-speed, fast dynamic passes, showing the ability of the pilots and the agility of the Hawk. But get your cameras ready for the Detonator. Synchro pair breaking away from us with Red 7 on your left, smoking red, and Red 6 on the right, smoking blue. They will now attempt to mirror each other as they pull up to about 30 degrees nose up to achieve approximately 1,000 feet. They will turn hard now back towards the display line. Once again, simultaneously diving down to 100 feet, and they have a closing speed of over 800 miles per hour. They will perform a series of barrel rolls in a manoeuvre we call the double rolls. As the synchro pair leave the display area, look to your front right 45 and you can see Enid pulling up. The red, white and blue come on as they perform a series of barrel rolls through the sky, leaving a snake-like smoke trail in the sky in a manoeuvre that we like to call the Python. You may hear through the display, as Red 1 is talking on the radio, you might hear a tone in the background, and that is Red 6 signalling to Red 7 it is the timing for them to turn back towards the display area. And this prevents Red 6 talking on top of the radio whilst Red 1 is also talking to the rest of Enid. But as Enid leave the display area, keep looking to your left and to your right for the synchro pair returning back to the display line. Once again, they return at that 100 feet and closing speed of over 800 miles per hour. They will conduct a series of 360-degree aileron rolls before pulling up to mirror each other in a maneuver we call the Boomerang. Red 6 and 7 now pulling up at 5 to 6G, which means everything about them is now weighing 5 to 6 times heavier than what you and I are as we stand on the ground. They will both try and mirror each other now to 60 degrees, inverted flight, nose down, once again to capture that 100 feet and point towards each other at that 800 miles closure. Before they do a 4-point roll, leaving the display line as they complete the Boomerang. Keep looking to your left-hand side, and once again, Enid are running in line abreast. The white smoke is on. The red comes on from 2 and 3 as they barrel roll around Reds 4 and 5. 4 and 5 smoke blue as they barrel roll round 2 and 3 in one of the hardest manoeuvres for our new pilots each year to master. This is the Rollbacks. As Enid leave the display line to the left, keep looking to your right-hand side with Red 6 leading in Red 7. The smoke comes on from the synchro pair. Red 6 rolls inverted. He is now inverted and he can see you all on the beach, so give him a wave as the synchro pair fly along the display line in Corkscrew. Red 7 smoking the red, white and blue. Red 7 is Flight Lieutenant James Turner, known as JT. Third year on the team, a former Typhoon pilot and qualified flying instructor on the Hawk T-Mark 1. Keep your eye on the synchro pair to your left as Red 6, the synchro leader, pulls 5 to 6G, getting the synchro pair around the corner. Red 6 is squad leader Gregor Ogston. Fourth year on the team, a former Typhoon and Harrier pilot and former flying instructor on the Hawk T-Mark 2. As you reverse to the left, the blue smoke comes on. Look to your front right 45 and you'll see Enid set up in an inverted V shape. Keep your eye on Red 6 as he lines up the synchro pair for the colourful double Goose. Today, Red 1 is an aircraft which is a non-smoker, therefore that is why he hasn't got any smoke out. Each aircraft that can smoke has a pod on it which is able to produce 5 minutes of white smoke, 1 minute of red smoke and 1 minute of blue smoke. And each colour is individually selected by a single button on the pilot's control column. Each display is carefully choreographed to ensure that we have the right colour of smoke at the right time in the display. Look directly to your front now and you can see the synchro pair's nose light twinkling in the distance as they run in with 6 leading Red 7 in trail. They pull up, get your cameras ready. You do not want to miss this one. This is the Synchro Heart. I was talking to a young lady earlier on today, and I believe it is Emma's birthday, and therefore the Synchro pair and the Red Arrows would like to dedicate today's heart to Emma. Happy birthday, Emma. Well, Bournemouth, give the Synchro pair a massive round of applause for producing a wonderful red heart in the skies of Bournemouth. Synchro pair setting up for their final pass at that 100 feet and over 800 miles closing speed. They will perform a series of barrel rolls and inverted flight to leave the display line. In a manoeuvre named by a viewer of the One Show in 2020, this is Crossbow. Directly to your front now, and you can see Enid running back in for the final manoeuvre of today's display. Once again, Bournemouth, is an absolute pleasure to perform for you at Bournemouth. But please put your hands together for the 2022 Royal Air Force Aerobatic Team, the Red Arrows! Red 2 putting the smoke out on behalf of Red 1. He will gather the rest of the formation and take them back to Bournemouth Airport. If you'd like any more information on the Red Arrows, of course, you can look at the raf.mod.uk/Red Arrows. We are, of course, on Facebook, RAF Red Arrows, and we are on Instagram and Twitter at RAF Red Arrows, with each individual pilot at RAF Red and their number also having their individual accounts. Once again, on behalf of the Royal Air Force and the Red Arrows, I'd like to make a massive thank you to everyone that supports us, everyone that comes out to see our display. We really appreciate everything that you do for us. We also appreciate all your messages. I will be at the RAF Red Arrows PR10 in about 10 minutes if you want to come and say hello. We're also selling the Red Arrows prints. They have been signed by the pilots. It does a limited edition for 2022 with the Platinum Jubilee sail on. They are £10, it's only cash only. I don't have a card machine, unfortunately. But however, once again, on behalf of the Red Arrows and the Royal Air Force, thanks very much, thanks for your support. I hope to see you again soon, and take care if you go home later on. Goodbye.
Wasn't that great? That was the Red Arrows here.